Hey, this is Mike from Junkies on Crafts and Builds, and this is the impressions video for Toy Notch Astrobots Vulkan. Now, I was able to pick this up from my friend Matt Partsformer, one of the many co-hosts of the Figure Action podcast. We stream every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so why don't you go ahead and check us out. We talk about toys, Transformers, anything that comes up in the community. So why don't you go ahead and come along for the ride, hop into the chat, buy some merch, whatever you want to do, but it'd be great to have you on board. I found this format at BotCon this past weekend. My first BotCon, it was a really cool experience, mostly for the fact that I got to hang out with a bunch of really close friends from the Transformers ERC Facebook group. So I picked this up, and I know nothing about this line at all, but the new comic book that is being written by Transformers alum Simon Furman. So the storyline for this series is that Earth is becoming inhabitable for humans. So they create these astrobots to go find a nearby planet that humans can live on and basically terraform and build. These astrobots are also granted with an artificial intelligence. And I guess from what I'm understanding is that this AI is learning faster than anticipated and is realizing that, is this really the right thing for them to do as they create their own Astrobot society? So it's a really neat concept. And of course, Simon Furman, if you've read the Transformer comics, he builds things in layers. So there's going to be a lot of nuance with these characters. So without beleaguering the topic anymore, the box for Astrobot, for Vulkan here, is really cool. And he does come with a quick little bio, so I'll let you pause and check that out. And this first issue of Astrobots, I think this is the protagonist, and I believe his name is Atlas. Anyway, I'm rambling. You're not here for that. Let's talk about this figure. So here's Vulkan, and just looking at him, and we'll talk aesthetics real quick. He is mostly molded plastic. I don't see a lot of paint. There are tampos up here and across the entire body for like these warning slashes and whatnot. And then some of this other, like there's just little accent details that makes them really interesting. It makes you want to look around and see where everything is at. But to say he's fully painted, I mean, it's not bad. It's super sharp all over him. On the back, you can see we have these little panel access warnings and then a reserve tank. Height-wise, he's about 8 inches. So when we do some comparisons, I'll have a variety of figures to try to mate up with them. The key thing about this line is the absolutely insane amount of articulation that each figure has, because I keep finding new things that I can manipulate. So to go through articulation, we're going to start from the top and go down, and we're going to talk about these large manipulator arms, drill bits here. So these are kind of like if you need to have a weapon, but these are his tools. I think we'll start here, and like out of the box, these are actually extended, and these are just like really little extra manipulating pieces or opposing pieces. They're a soft ratchet, but you can see he gets a lot of range inside, so you could manipulate these, that they're, you know, if he's defending himself, he can go and do that here. They also have a rotation joint here at the shoulder piece or whatever top part section, and that still goes in. It has a bit of a butterfly, and the actual point here at the main shoulders, like I said, rotate around. He can lift the manipulator arms and do a super T-pose. That's really cool. And then there's a bicep rotation here on the manipulator and a double jointed elbow that goes in fantastic range. So the main thing you see here is at the end of each of these arms is this huge drill. What I was finding out here as well is that if you slide back these orange sections here, like so, you can actually slide this out, and he actually has additional grasping claws, right? So that even brings more playability in here, and it has 3 points of articulation at the end of each claw here, so you can like get really close in. He could do some fine dexterous work with these manipulator hands. The drill bit itself is just plastic, but still it's really nice quality. So looking at the head, he can look up, really far up. I mean, that's just fantastic. Not much down, but he can rotate side to side. And with the ball joint, you can kind of get a little attitude with him, but not a lot. And talking about sculpt and his face, there's just a lot of character in this simple design. You can tell his eyes, they actually kind of have a little bit of a sculpt there for the iris. It just looks really cool. I love it. These shoulder sections here can go in, or you can pull them out, and they rotate 360 around at this shoulder joint. And he can also get another T-pose, as well as with this ball joint, he gets butterfly with his arms as well. So again, it's another opportunity just to bring things. I mean, you can have him here getting ready to fight and just have his fist covered. Just looks so rad. Kind of waiting to look for you and said he has to have a word with you. But again, bicep rotation, double jointed elbows. And I love how these elbows are engineered. Hands, we kind of was showing here, but they're on universals, so you can splay them out, fold them in. They rotate as well. There is a tab in here for, I'm assuming, some of the other characters or other accessory pack. Another highlight are these hands. And they have 1, 2, 3 points of articulation here at the thumb, the side to side for the fingers, and then 1, 2, 3 points of articulation on each finger. These guys are toleranced really well. We have an ab crunch, and it's a very substantial and welcomed ab crunch for the front here. Going back, you don't really have much of anything just because of this tank here. And we do have waist rotation. So again, just getting the idea of like action poses for this guy. Just amazing. Hip skirts, we have front, side, and back. Okay. And just to go through real quick, this guy, the posing continues. He can do a full split. If you wanted him to run, his leg can go up that far and back that far when you start manipulating the flaps. So that's great. We have thigh rotation, and we have a single jointed knee, but with the sculpt, it gets you a fair amount with 90 degrees. So I don't see a problem with that. Now we go down to the ankles. We have an ankle pivot here. We have a really nice ankle tilt down, and add in toe tilt, right? So toe tilt down, toe tilt up. And I'm assuming this is something that goes with the figure, but what you can do is fold this down. Make sure I get this right here. If you fold the feet back, you can get it to look like he has treads. Like I was saying, you can actually kind of show it that he's like on these treads. So that's just, I mean, that's just cool in and of itself. And you can kind of balance it out by pulling his toes back to help make like a heel. But yeah, I mean, that in and of itself is just a cool play factor. I can't say enough. I mean, this guy is really well done. I'm having fun. I can't say I've had that legitimate feeling of like trying to figure out how to get this guy into different poses other than right now. So I'm sure I'm missing stuff, but if you pick this guy up, you can you know, try all these different options yourself. But let me get some comparisons in here with some other figures. So first comparison I'm going to do is obviously with another bot line. This is the Mastermind Creations IDW interpretation of Hot Rod, and I felt it was kind of appropriate. I know Simon Furman has had his hands in Transformers lore for decades. I just think it's really cool. It shows how this line can actually go together now. So, but let's kind of see where else we can branch with our comparisons. Next, I have Vulkan here with a Cosmic Legions Ziri. Again, it's a cool mix. So again, she's just really cool, and you can see the height difference here. And to continue on this kind of world merging. Here I have him with two of the Wave 2 releases of Spiros Toys, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. And here's Vulkan with some other 1/12 scale action figures popular amongst the collecting community right now. We have the Jada Toys Fei Long, the PowerCon exclusive Action Force Swarm Horde figure that every iteration of Valaverse figures is improving each time, and this guy is no exception. And then we have another bot here, and that is the Classified Series Cobra Bat. But you can see, even, you know, like I said, 8 inches, and these guys are around 6 inches. He kind of can fit in. I mean, hey, this is an addendum in the middle of the video. There are some things that I noticed that I didn't say in the earlier parts of the video, so I wanted to take this time and point them out to you. There are some things that I was incorrect on that I wanted to address. The claws here inside the drill, they are painted, so please be careful when you pull this on and off. So you can see if you pull them off and put them back, that's the configuration. You need to have the pincher, the claws in. Second item, I had said that these fingers were pinned. That is incorrect. They are similar to KFC fingers in that it is all tension pins holding the fingers in place. Third item, his heel here. This can actually slide in if you manipulate the back, and you can do that by pulling up on this here, and you slide this in, and that will definitely help with stability. So that's the addendum. Back to the regular video. So final impressions of the Toy Notch Astrobots Vulkan. I'm blown away. For first time seeing this toy line and dealing with an action figure that you can literally pose any which way you want, this guy is just awesome. And it makes me want to grab some of the other figures just to see how well they pose. The deco is more accent oriented, and I think it fits well for the line and what this character really brings. The accessories, while really none other than the little drill bits here, he's just fun. If you're in on this line, Vulkan's going to be releasing soon here. I talked to guys at toydojo.com. They said their shipment's coming in soon. Big Bad Toy Store has this guy on pre-order. I'm going to stop now and I want to get back to playing, but if you're looking into a action figure oriented series. So that's everything. At the time of this recording, I am about a little over a month away from my first anniversary. That's everything. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.